Welcome back. Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and I am responding to a tag video. I was tagged by Kenny from In the Pocket. If you're not already subscribed to him, definitely go check him out. He's a really good guy, got some good content, and he's a fellow knife guy. I don't know who originated this tag, but tag videos are always fun. Brings the community together, and before I get started, the title of this tag was your 3 knife pet peeves. And before I get started, I'm going to tag 3 people. And let's see, I'm going to tag Metal Complex, another good channel. Zach Stuff, another great channel. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to tag my buddy Super Steel Steve. If you're too busy, any of y'all are too busy, it's no big deal. You don't have to do it. It's just something, if you have the time to fit in your schedule, get it knocked out for us, people. So let's get started. My first pet peeve, I think, was one of Kenny's pet peeves. Is anybody who's been watching my channel should know what this pet peeve is, and it's missed or needed sharpening choil. Especially being that I sharpen a fixed angle system, I can't stand seeing, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Like, for instance, look at this Boker titanium blues right there. As you can see, if you look at the shadow right here, you can see the plunge line coming down, and they missed it just by a tad. And I think that's the most aggravating, when they came close and they started it, but they just didn't finish it. I mean, what that does, I'm going to show you what that does in a second for all those trying to sharpen that or trying to fix it. Let's see. This is what happens whenever you just try to sharpen around it. So this is the crossbones, and as you can see right here, they put one, but they didn't put it far enough, and you see how the bevel widens out right here. We call it a smile. It broadens because they didn't bring that sharpening choil up enough. And literally, all they would have had to do is come down to that plunge grind about that much further, and it would have been perfectly fine. And over time, you either get a fatter and fatter smile right there, and you'll start to get a small recurve. This looks ugly. And I didn't notice it when I was sharpening it. I would have fixed it myself, but sometimes it's not as noticeable. That just means that this portion of the grind is thicker because that's where the plunge started. So they needed to go on this side of it. Here's another example. This is one of the first knives I sharpened a long time ago on my Wicked Edge. This is the Boker Anzo 67. And they didn't have a sharpening choil in there. And you can see over time, whenever that grind keeps going up that way, you'll continue to have this fat portion right here. And then you'll start to have this recurve where it goes down back into this grind. And it just doesn't look good. And, there's pros and cons to sharpening choils. Like Kenny said, sure, things can get caught up on that whenever you're trying to cut it. I do like the way that Spyderco does theirs, where they give you the option. Like, for instance, I added a choil to this Para 3 that I just sharpened. And you see, I just kind of took a little notch out of it right there, just so I could use my fixed angle system. Because what happens on my fixed angle system is I start hitting this plunge grind right here. My stones start hitting this, and I can't always get up to the front. Sometimes I can, and it's just a pain in the butt for me. So don't make them bark, baby. So I just choose to add my own little sharpening choil just so I can get a nice even bevel on both sides. All right, and let's see if I have any more. This is another good example of a terrible non-sharpening job. See how the grind starts to recurve? It starts to go up like that. If they added a little sharpening choil right there, it would be perfect every time. Now see, Spyderco, whenever they do theirs, they go all the way up to the back. So this one already has recurve. That's just from whoever was grinding this, got a little grinder happy and started taking off material too far up. Let's see. It's just kind of like Spyderco's. They go all the way to the back. And see, this one can be fixed. You could actually grind this, with your angled system or freehand to where this, matches up with that. I'm okay with that. The main reason why I'm okay with this is because I can fix that if I want. If I want to add a choil to it, I can. And some examples that get it right, like this Kaiser. They did it absolutely perfect. They extended it past the plunge grind, which is right back here. My dog wants to be in the video. Just like this quiet carry strand. See, they passed the plunge grind, so you have a nice even bevel. And I mean, you know, even your cheapest of knives get it right sometimes. Look, this Santa Fe. This knife, I love this. This is my #1 all-star favorite beater. It lives on side of my grinder in my shop. Absolutely love this knife. It's gotten so stinking smooth. Look at that. Riding on phosphor bronze and a little thin Teflon. Excellent, excellent knife. But they get it right. You know, it doesn't have to be expensive knives. Alrighty, now the second one. The second topic is I can't stand when the knives come grimy and slimy.
Did someone say slimy?
Yeah.
Like this kind, maybe?
No, not that kind of slimy, baby.
Oops. What about this kind of slimy?
Now I've seen some knives that have some of that in it, but that's not the one I'm talking about. But that is pretty there.
What about this one?
That's the one. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't you love it when your knife comes with that stuff? Nah, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to show my beautiful daughter's hobby too. She's always being a team player for me. So y'all give her a comment down in the comment section below. Tell her how beautiful her slimes are. She made all 3 of those. Big props to her. And I love playing with her with that kind of stuff.
Wait.
Yep,
Okay,
go ahead.
look.
She wants to say
So this is a butter slime. It's really
That's what she calls a butter slime. Now, what do you call this one?
This one is also a butter slime, but it's better because it's from a slime shop.
And they call it that.
Like, it's
they
kinda
call it
like-
because it's buttery, huh? It has that buttery texture.
Yeah, it feels like butter.
So definitely tell her how good of a job. Look at this. She put all that stuff in there. She made the colors on these. Show them this one real quick and tell them what kind it is, and then we got to go on to the next one, baby.
Yeah.
And what is this? That's good. What is that one?
This is a clear slime. It's glossy too.
It's like a big bob of snot with glitter in it.
I named it. It's called Starry Night.
Starry Night. Tell her how great of a job she's done. That's little Stasa 23. She's behind the camera, putting in work with me, and I love doing videos with her. Thank you, baby. I appreciate your help.
Bye-bye.
See y'all later. Okay, here, baby. Take him. All right. So the next one is another pet peeve of mine is called, I call it a mistake recurve. And what I mean by that is when looks like it wasn't even meant to be there like this. I love this. This is a great budget beater knife. And you can probably barely see it, but it has a recurve right there. And that happens either when you got, you know, a missed sharpening choil where it gets thicker right here. So they grind it straight like this and that thicker point dives down. And like I said, you can barely see this. Let's see if I can even show it to you. But it has a recurve and it'll be way more pronounced whenever you're sharpening the knife. Let's see. I don't know if I'll be able to actually show that to you. I need something darker. Let's see if this would work. Yep. I'm not prepared here, peeps. Well, you just have to take my word on it. Right here, right in this section right here, you get a small recurve, and it'll either be able to be sharpened out, or it'll get worse over time. Like you can kind of see it right here where it dips in right there. And like I said, this is a great knife. That kind of stuff bugs me. I don't have many examples to show you because I don't usually keep those knives. I just like this knife. And this one's not really what I'm really talking about, but you see how they got this really small recurve right here? This knife to me would have been such a more beautiful knife if it wouldn't have had that at all. I don't think it needs to be there. And it's not, you're not getting any gained function to that. You know, a recurve, I don't have a full-on recurve. I'm not a big recurve fan, but, you know, a recurve, you know, should have that nice dip. So whenever you're cutting into something right here, the belly that's sticking down bites into the material. You know, that's the whole point of a recurve. So that's my second pet peeve. And my last pet peeve it's even gotten worse over time, being that my hands and my dexterity are not so great. And that is a overly strong detent or a sticky detent. And here's a great example. This is a Carter Trinity by Ontario Knives that I modded that has a sticky detent. And what I call a sticky detent is, don't make him bark. It's like, see how you heard it pop? And what that pop is it's the detent ball is actually stuck all the way down into the hole, so it's actually getting stuck whenever you open it, and it pops open. It's not satisfying. You pretty much have to flick this knife. You can't even slow roll this knife unless you pinch it from the back side right there. It's a good detent for a nice snappy action, but if the detent's done right, you can get a nice strong detent without that pop and stick and feel, and it's not safe either, because my finger gets caught on there and it makes the knife want to slide out of my hand. So that's my pet peeves. I love to hear these other guys' pet peeves, and if I didn't tag you and you want to do the video, just do it. Keep it as an open tag. And always interested to see what everybody else thinks, what bothers you guys. And y'all let my little Stasa23 know that you did a great job and what y'all think about her slimes. All right, guys and girls. Hope everybody's having an absolutely wonderful day. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.